All right, hey everybody. I'm really excited. I'm pumped up because I'm here with my friend Mako, who is from Boston. And hey, Mako, uh, you're going to participate with us in this series about forgotten countries, and the topic is going to be this coming Monday: Is America a Christian nation? Loaded topic. But first of all, I want to ask you because I found this picture on Google. What is this picture?
That's a great question. uh, that's me standing there with a group of folks who were outside of Faneuil Hall in Boston. You know, that's a pretty touristy area, and Faneuil is named for a slave holder, and we were part of a group that was calling for a name change, and why don't we name it something else, or name it after someone else? And while we're at it, why don't we ask questions like, why aren't there more Black-owned businesses in Faneuil Hall? I mean, it's a prosperous area. So we were there doing that, calling attention to that.
Awesome. I'm sure you'll have more to say about that. But I wanted to kind of give a preview for our topic. We've been talking about the two topics you're not supposed to talk about in polite conversation: faith and politics.
Right.
And there, you know what? I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but is America a Christian nation? I hear that all the time, this stuff about going back to Christian. And I don't want you to get into it now because we're going to talk about it on Monday. But have you ever wrestled with this? Have you ever felt a struggle around this question? We have these two different pictures right here. This one's kind of a picture of different people that are like, yeah, no, definitely not. And this is the kind of images for people that think yes. And so have you ever felt wrestling with this question?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a really fascinating question too. I mean, I probably the first time it hit me was when my dad asked me. My dad is kind of an atheist agnostic, and I came to faith in Jesus late in high school, and his question was, how come all these so-called Christians were supportive of the incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II, right? Is that something a Christian nation would do? And I really scratched my head like, it seems like no. But how do I explain that? I mean, I think the majority of Christians at the time supported that. So does that make it a Christian nation? Is that something a Christian nation would do?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first time I really wrestled with that.
I mean, I feel like we've all wrestled with those kinds of questions, and we probably had things where we're like, yeah, I wish, if you're a follower of Jesus, I wish we would follow Jesus more, or follow, and then you probably had felt things like, man, America, I wish it wasn't this way. And so,
right.
If you have those questions, if you're interested in trying to become a faithful follower of Jesus, especially in these really complicated topics of religion and politics, come out. And Mako, I know that you've done a lot of thinking about this. You study the Bible a lot. But you also are involved on the ground. Like you just met with literally right before we're filming this, you just met with a political organizer in your area to just chat.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna be a great conversation. Any last words, Mako, just to hype this up a little bit?
Yeah, I like putting food background, food on my background on Zoom. So come out and see, what kind of background pictures I put in there, because you will be tantalized. But in all seriousness, I think that this is the type of conversation that we need, because it really does nourish us to have them. I mean, we tend to avoid them, as you said, Jeremy, and I don't think that does us. I don't think that helps us. So I think there's a part of us that really hungers for deeper conversation, and I'm excited to participate in what you're doing.
Well, we're looking forward to having you on Monday.
Looking forward to being there.
Someday, maybe in person. You'll have to come down to Philadelphia, but
Well, not far.